Hello everyone, I'm Zach Peterson and welcome to another Flux tutorial. Today we're going to look at how Flux focuses on design reuse and helps you find the perfect project to reuse to create your own custom PCB. Now Flux stresses design reuse. There's no reason you should have to keep reinventing the wheel. And Flux offers many different resources and methods for recreating existing projects as a custom project that you own. I'm going to go over that workflow. I'm going to show you some of the ways that you can find and reuse projects and get started on your own PCB. Make sure to hop into Flux and follow along. Now, if you've been using Flux for a while, or you've been watching some of our other videos, you know that Flux stresses design reuse, and there's no reason to keep reinventing the wheel. So if you're inside of a project, there are two main areas where you can quickly reuse existing circuitry and portions of a PCB layout. One of those features is with sub-layouts, and then the other is with parts from the community library. So if you make a sub-layout available for others, they can use that in their own projects, and vice versa. You'll be able to find portions of a PCB layout or sub-layouts that you can use in your own projects. But what if you want to clone a project and start using that for your own PCB? Well, there are two areas where you can do that. The first is on the Featured Projects page. On the Featured Projects page, you'll find a number of hand-selected projects that can be used as templates or as sub-layouts for a custom PCB. So as we scroll through here, we see things like an Arduino template, and then there's also a Raspberry Pi template right here. So this is pretty cool because you can just access one of these boards and immediately start using them as a template for something like, for example, a shield board. One thing you can also do on the left-hand side of this page is, of course, filter by templates or any of these other categories, and you'll see a large selection of templates here in this list. One of the other things that I think is cool here is, of course, under the Manufacturer Design Rules tag, you'll see here there is a selection of pre-built stack-ups from OSH Park and JLC PCB, and these templates include the design rules already built into them. So you don't have to worry about going to a manufacturer's website and looking up their capabilities and programming in the right design rules. These particular templates already have those design rules built in. Now, the next area where you can find projects to reuse is in your own dashboard. So if you go over to your dashboard, you'll see here up in the top left area there's a search bar. And here in this search bar, I can start searching for projects that I want to reuse. One of the easiest ways to find projects that have been created specifically to be reused is to search for template. So you'll notice here if I search for template, I already have a lot of results that come up. These are all parts. However, if I were to say change this to STM32 template, you already see we have a Nucleo Shield template right here. And I can already open this and I can start using this as a template for my own project. Now, once you have something like this open, or if you find something that you want to reuse here in this page and you want to start using it for your own project, what is the correct workflow? How do you do this? So you'll notice if you just click on one of these and you click Visit Project, it's going to open up this project. And if you want to use this as the start of your own project, the correct way to do this is to then create a new project from this. And you do that by cloning the project. So if you open the top menu, you'll see right here, there's an option for Clone Project. So if I just click this and clone the project, it's immediately going to create a copy of this that is not linked to the revision history in the version control system. So it's going to take a moment to clone the project, but once it does, it's going to be totally disconnected from the revision history in this original project. Now you see here, my username is up here at the top. So it's already created this and put it into my dashboard. And so now I can access it from my dashboard. So from here, you'll also see that updates are available for the components. Sometimes that will come up as well. You'll have a chance to review those, or you can of course receive the latest drafts as soon as those are created. Once I have this open, I can go into the PCB, I can start changing the board outline, and I can just immediately start using this if I want. Here with the shield board template, I can do the same thing. I can just go up here to the top menu. I can hit clone project, and it's going to make a new copy of this. And I can immediately start adding circuitry to this shield board. And once it loads, I can just start adding in circuits from the parts library. I can search by component or by sub layout, and I can just start dragging and dropping into this project, and then I can start placing those onto the PCB. Now, the great thing about starting from this existing layout is that you can see here the pins are already arranged. And of course, we already have the pin naming applied on the silk screen as well as in the schematic. Now, this is really important because, of course, in this example, this is a shield board template. So this is already going to match the pinout on the STM32 Nucleo board. So you don't have to go in and manually place all of these pins. You don't have to go in and manually name them. And you can see here in the schematic, everything is already set up and is going to match. Now, this particular part can also be accessed, and you can access it just by clicking on the part and then opening this up. Now, this part is essentially all of these pins and pin naming that you see here in this board. But this part exists in the community library, and you could even take this and clone it or fork it, and then you'd have your own version of the Nucleo 32 pinout, which you could use in your own projects. So if this shield board template doesn't work for you, you can then, of course, change it. You could modify the board size. You could do pretty much anything you want to this to make sure that you can build a custom Nucleo shield and place whatever circuitry you want onto it. Make sure to bookmark the featured projects page if you want to reuse some of the latest and greatest projects from the Flux platform. If you're unsure of where to find that page, check the link in the description. We have a link to that page and you can bookmark it and you'll be able to access new projects as they become available. Thanks for watching, everybody.